Welcome Standard 10th for this next video of Nelson Mandela. As per your request, I'm uploading this video again with the rest of the chapter, and I'll try to explain the chapter again. So open to page number 19. So before that, this chapter about A Long Walk to Freedom is the autobiography written by Nelson Mandela, and it marks the importance of 10th May 1994, which was the inauguration ceremony for the entire nation, because the nation had received its freedom from the policy of apartheid. And in the first video, I have explained, or I've told you about the apartheid. The name that given is Rolihlahla Mandela. He was born into the Madiba clan in South Africa in a small village named Mavizo. So he belonged to a clan named Madiba clan, and he had seen the oppression of his people. So here just a point I want to give you: instead of calling blacks, we'll call them colored Americans. So here in this chapter, he has mentioned about the white skinned people and the other colored skinned people. Okay, hearing the elders' story of his ancestors' valor during the wars of resistance, Nelson dreamed also of making his own contribution to the freedom struggle of his people. So now we'll move ahead with the chapter. So Nelson Mandela was a social rights activist, politician and philanthropist who became South Africa's first black president. So it's his autobiography, and we'll look into the chapter. And I want you to open to page number 19 of your textbook of your reader, First Flight. As I read, I want to look into your books. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers rode in perfect formation over the Union buildings. A few moments later. Which moments? After the inauguration ceremony, after the oath-taking ceremony, we saw as the second deputy president took an oath. He was followed by the first deputy president, Thabo Mbeki, and then it was Nelson Mandela's turn to take the oath. And we have seen in the last video the oath that he had taken. Okay, now after the oath taking ceremony, that is a few moments later, we means all the international guests that were present there with Nelson Mandela, all the military troops, that is we all, lifted our eyes. Lifted our eyes means they looked up in the sky in awe. Awe is a feeling which you regard with respect. Awe is a feeling of great respect, sometimes mixed with fear or surprise. That is the feeling of awe. So they all lifted their eyes up in awe as a spectacular array. The meaning that is given in your textbook is an impressive display, colorful and attractive. A spectacular array of what? What was the display in the sky? The meaning of display is performance. Okay, so what was the display in the sky? That they all were left in awe, a feeling of surprise. Okay, array of South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers. They saw in the sky South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers. What are troop carriers? Troop carriers can be a vehicle, a ship or an aircraft that transports soldiers. All these three they saw in the sky rode in perfect formation over the Union buildings. To roar, when a vehicle moves at a very high speed, it makes a loud prolonged sound, and then we call as the car roared past. Here, all these jets, helicopters and troop carriers roared in perfect formation. They were doing some display in the sky over the Union buildings. If you just notice the Union building, you see U capital for Union and B capital for buildings. It is the proper noun. What are the Union buildings? The Union buildings form the official seat of South Africa's president. The Union buildings form the official seat of the South African government and also houses the offices of the President of South Africa. Union buildings are one of the centers of political life in South Africa. It is one of the centers. Now we use White House. We talk about the President of US. So these are the official residence and workplace of that country's president. And India, Rashtrapati Bhavan is the official residence and workplace of Indian president. Okay, now we'll move ahead. There was a spectacular array, a spectacular and impressive performance in the sky by the jets, helicopters and the troop carriers. This all happened over the Union buildings. Okay, it was not only display of pinpoint precision and military force. It was not only the display of pinpoint precision. What is precision? To be exact, pinpoint means up to the point of a pin there was an exact and accurate display performance. There was no flaw in the display that these military force had done using the jets, helicopters and troop carriers. So Nelson Mandela goes on to say but it's a demonstration of the military's loyalty. It's not only the display of the military force, but it's a demonstration. What do you mean by the word demonstrate? Demonstrate means to show something practically, to give a practical exhibition and explanation of something. To demonstrate means to give a practical exhibition and explanation of something. So here, these formations over the Union buildings, it was not just the display of pinpoint precision. There was no flaw in the formations that do, and military are very apt military force. But it was, according to Nelson Mandela, it was the demonstration of the loyalty. Loyalty to what or to whom? The military force's loyalty towards the government, towards the democracy, towards the new government that was freely and fairly elected. Freely elected. Free elections. That means everyone could participate. Even the white-skinned people and the colored-skinned people, they all could participate fairly, without any injustice. It was fairly elected. So freely and fairly elections. Fairly are also synonymous honestly, without any injustice. So the military force, the spectacular array of these jets, helicopters and troop carriers show the loyalty of the military force to the democracy and to the new government which was freely and fairly elected. We'll continue. Only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by. Before this ceremony, only moments before the ceremony, a short time ago, what had happened is the highest generals of the military force, the highest generals of South Africa and South African Defence Force and police, okay, they saluted me. Me is who is the speaker here? Nelson Mandela. These highest generals of the defense force saluted. Salute means to pay respect. When our national flag is hoisted on the pole, we all salute the flag. That means honor to our flag. So these people saluted Nelson Mandela. Now these people, their chests were bedecked, means decorated with ribbons and medals from days gone by. Those ribbons and medals talk about their service to the country, right? Okay. Saluted me and pledged their loyalty. They took a vow that they would be loyal to the new president. I was not mindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. Okay, so when these people come and salute him, we can understand the joy that Nelson Mandela was going through. Now then he just goes back into his past and says that I was not unmindful of. That means I was aware. It was there in my mind. I didn't forget. I remembered. I was not unmindful of the fact that he remembered the fact that this wouldn't have been the case a few years before. Not so many years before, they would not have. So not so many years before, few years before, these people, these highest generals of South Africa, the police, wouldn't have saluted or pledged loyalty. They would have arrested him. That's what he says here. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of the new South African flag. Finally, now this paragraph talks about celebration. The celebration that took place. First, it talks about how the jets, helicopters and the troop carriers, they had done this formation in the sky. Then after that, the military generals, the police officers, they came and saluted the new president. And then the new president says that I didn't forget the days gone by. This was not the case a few years before because they would have arrested him. But now things have changed. On this day of 10th May 1994, the day is completely different, where the same people who had arrested him earlier, had put him in the jail, now they're standing there and they stood there saluting him and they pledged loyalty. And the troops celebrating the ceremony. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets. A chevron is a pattern, V-shaped pattern, inverted V pattern made by the jets in the sky. Okay, and these jets left a small trail trail is the line or the path left made by this smoke. These jets left a smoke trail of red, blue, green and gold of the new South African flag. That means there was a new South African flag that time. The new South African flag, designed in March 1994 and adopted on 27th April 1994. Till that time, the flag that had been used since 1928. It was the old flag. Now, no more after this day, after this 1994, new flag was to be used. This new flag represents the country's new democracy after the end of apartheid. The new flag represented the end of apartheid and the country's new democracy. Okay, that's why these jets left a smoke trail of different colors. The colors were black, red, blue and gold, which represent the colors in the new flag, South African flag. So this para talks about the celebration. Now let's look at the figures of speech in this. Pinpoint precision. Pinpoint precision is alliteration, where the sound p is repeated. P is repeated. Now finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of black, red. It is symbolism. The figure of speech there is symbolism. Now let's move on to the next para, which talks about the national anthems. Now there were two separate songs sung in the national South African national language. One anthem was said by the white-skinned people and the other was sung by the colored people, and both of them despised each other's anthems. Let's move on. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems. The day was symbolized of the end of apartheid, symbolized that the new freedom has begun in South Africa. So it was symbolized for Nelson Mandela. Why was it symbolized? On that day, the two national anthems were played together. And the vision of whites singing Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika and black singing Die Stem. Okay, South Africa's national anthem is actually composed of two separate songs, as I've told you. And the first is the African National Congress official anthem, Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika. The meaning is Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika means Lord bless Africa. That's the anthem. And the black singing Die Stem. Die Stem is the second anthem, Die Stem van Suid-Afrika, means in English the call of South Africa. Okay, these two were the anthem. Now first, the day was symbolized for Nelson Mandela because these two anthems were placed. First. Second, the vision, the sight that Nelson Mandela witnessed, the whites singing Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika. The whites were singing the anthem sung by the blacks. Blacks used to sing Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika. And then the blacks were singing the whites' anthem. What was the anthem? Die Stem van Suid-Afrika. So these two were the reasons. And then he goes to say that although that day neither group means there were two groups, white group and colored group. Both the groups neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem because they despised, the meaning of despise, to have a low opinion of someone. Both the groups despised each other's anthem, and that's why none of them knew the lyrics. But now Nelson was happy that from now onwards these two groups will definitely know the lyrics. They would soon know the words by heart. They will soon know the words of both the anthems by heart. So this para tells us about national anthems of South Africa. Again, the question, why was the day symbolized? Because of these things. First, that the two national anthems were sung that day. Second, whites sang the national anthem of the blacks or the colored, and the colored people sang the national anthem of the white. Third, and soon they will know the lyrics by heart and they would not despise each other's anthem. And why they would soon know the words by heart? Why? Because both the anthems were going to be the national anthems of the newly liberated South Africa. Let's move on. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. On the day of inauguration. Now, what do you mean by the word inauguration? Inauguration is a ceremony when you start something new, to mark the beginning of something new. So on that day, on the day of the inauguration, which was this day? 10th May was the day. 10th May was the beginning of something new. What was the something new? The end of the apartheid and the new liberated country. I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is to have a strong emotional effect. The meaning of overwhelm is to have strong emotional effect with a sense of history. Now, sense of history relates to a purpose. Leaders of a particular country have a sense of history. That means they think how to bring progress in that country. What progress, what new things should be invented or introduced to bring progress among the youths for the future generations. So what benefits they could do, that is sense of history. Now, here I was overwhelmed. Nelson Mandela was overwhelmed with the sense of history. He was thinking how to bring this country to progress. Remember, on page 17, it was we read that we who were outlaws. There was a time where they were called as rebels in their own land. But now, on this inauguration ceremony, Nelson is thinking how to bring progress. What should I do for the benefit of this country? Then he goes back to think of the history of the 20th century. In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth. Now, 20th century. 20th century starts from 901 to 2000. Okay, 20th century. Again, 20th century starts from 1900, 1901 to 2000 is the 20th century. In this, you have decades. Decades is a period of 10 years. Now, in the first decade of the 20th century, that means from 1901 to 1910 was the first decade of the 20th century. In this first decade of this 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War, The bitter Anglo-Boer War was between British Empire and South Africa and Orange State. Okay, Anglo-Boer War was fought between the British Empire and the two Boer states. The two Boer states were the South African Republic and the Orange Free State. This war was fought from 11 October 1899 to 1902. The war was fought from October 1899 to 1902. Nelson Mandela was born in 1918. He was born in 1918. So he speaks about in the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War. The Boer War was bitter. It left a huge impact. It was not good. And before my birth, what has happened? The white-skinned people of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. So what had happened? At that time, the white-skinned people patched up. It's a phrase, to patch up. To patch up means to fix something, to repair something, or to have a new beginning of friendship after an argument. That's to patch up. To patch up their differences. After this war, they saw the differences between the colors and they got fixed up with that idea of racism. And then they erected a system of racial domination. When they patched up their differences, they established a system of racial domination. One race dominating the other race against the dark-skinned people of their own land. This didn't happen among the countries. It happened in the same land, in their own land. Now, just pause for a moment and just think. Do we still have this racial discrimination in our country? Do we still discriminate between colors? What happened when this system was erected? When the white-skinned people started dominating the black-skinned people. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world has ever known. Because of this structure, it had formed the basis of the most inhuman and cruel, harsh, cruel society the world has ever known. It was so cruel that it couldn't be compared with the other thing. It was inhumane. There was no humanity. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century, and my 8th decade as a man, now in the last decade of the 20th century, the last decade started from 91 to 2000 is the last decade. In this last decade, something has changed. And my 8th decade as a man. So, as a man means 8 generations were under this apartheid. But Nelson Mandela is the 8th decade, 8th generation who had undergone this apartheid. That system had been overturned forever. So in the first decade of the 20th century, this system of apartheid or racism was erected by the white-skinned people. But in the 8th decade but in the last decade of the 20th century, this system was overturned. Overturned means to cancel or to reverse. It was overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all peoples regardless of the color of their skin. So in the first decade of the 20th century, that is from 1901 to 1910, the system was erected, the system of apartheid, the system that the white-skinned people ruled over the dark-skinned people of their own land, of their own country. But in the last decade of the 20th century, this system was overturned. It was cancelled, and in that place a new system was established. The new system that recognized the rights and freedom of the people regardless of their color. The people can enjoy their rights and freedom. Okay, so this para tells us about the history. What happened? When did this racism started in South Africa and when did it end?